Good morning. Today we want to talk about a different type of way to measure angles, and it is using radian measures. To illustrate this, let's begin by talking about air temperature. Think about the temperature that might be outside someday on a warm summer day. We could measure the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, or we can measure it in degrees Celsius. So if I told you that it is 97 degrees outside, does it make any difference between Fahrenheit or Celsius? Yeah, it does. 97 degrees Celsius means it's almost boiling outside. It's close to like what would be boiling on a stove. Whereas 97 degrees Fahrenheit is just a really hot summer day. So there's a difference between these two scales. We measure temperature by either degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. There's two different scales, but they both measure the exact same thing, air temperature. Likewise, when it comes to drawing angles, we have two different ways of measuring angles. We can measure one of those in degrees. As we have learned in the other videos, we can draw angles starting at 0 degrees, and we know that it goes up to like 360 degrees in a circle. Well, the different way of measuring the same type of thing is what is called radian measure. Radian would start at 0 radians. If you travel one full revolution around a circle, you have gone 2 pi radians. We will begin to work with different types of radians as we continue. Let's talk here just a little bit today about in a circle. When we begin, our initial side is continuing to start on the positive x-axis. That's 0 radians. Make one full revolution around the circle would be 2 pi radians. So that means that if you only went halfway around the circle, you would be at 1 pi revolution. And if you went half of that up here at the top, this angle would be half pi, or we just write it as pi over 2. Once you have traveled around 1 and a half pi down here at the bottom, this would be 1 1/2, or we actually write it as 3 pi over 2. We still will have positive angles go in a counterclockwise direction, negative angles go in a clockwise rotation. Okay, that's what we wanted to talk about as far as setting up our radians. In the next video, I will show you how to draw radian measured angles.